Hey, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about this coin. Now, I was recently searching this coin and I was going through, and you go through and you look at different coins, and I found this 1958D, but there was something weird about it. It had a lamination, and this lamination was peeling. Now, it was being retained, but you can see right here there's these little folds. And these little folds look like they're starting to come up. You can see it's folded over here, and you can see it's folded over here. So I want to be very careful not to lose this. But I thought this would be a great opportunity to talk to you a little bit about how this happens and what to do if you happen to find one. So first off, let's talk a little bit about how this could happen. Well, when they roll these out, they roll these into giant copper sheets. And they do that, and they put these into giant rolls. Because at the United States Mint, when they run these, or the Canadian Mint or the Royal Mint, or wherever they're running the copper coinage, they'll be pushing this through a device called the blanking tool. Now, the blanking machine is the one that actually cuts out all of the items from this particular sheet. And you see these giant copper rolls that are there. And if you're looking at quarters, then they'll be clad. If you're looking, they have some gold, they have some silver. So whatever's doing the blanking has the capability, if you're utilizing more than just a straight 999 fine silver or 999 fine gold, you have multitudes of metals. And in that multitude of metal, you can have weak spots. These things happen from things like oil, dirt, water, gas buildup, or slag. When you get hot, anything kind of impurity that builds up that remains left over is called slag. And that impurity can hide out underneath this area. Now, during the minting process, there's a number of places in which this can come loose. I just talked about the blanking stage. That's one that can happen. It can also happen in an area called upsetting. Upsetting is when they take that flat blank and they put the proto rim on there. And that proto rim is where it gives it that kind of curved planchet appeal. And in fact, after it goes through the upsetting mill, it becomes from a blank to a planchet. But then you also have the strike, and at the strike, you have that high force pushing against the obverse and the reverse of the coin. And at that time, you can break loose this. And if it's there, but you can't really see it throughout the circulation process, there's an opportunity for this to come up. Now, in this particular case, like you can see that it's retained, but it is starting to fold. So this lamination pill is still retained. It's still pretty good. But you want to be very careful and make sure that you watch it very, very carefully and put it in something protected. So I'm going to be utilizing this type of flip. This is PVC free. It won't react to copper. And I'm going to make sure that I put it in there. I'm going to label what it is, and then I'm going to be putting it in my error and variety binder. So again, take good care of it. Do not peel this off. You're going to want that to be retained. If for some reason you have one and in the process of handling it, part of it falls off, make sure that little fleck of it goes into here as well, because it'll be important for you to maintain that. One, for identification purposes, and two, it's pretty cool to have. So I wanted to take this opportunity, just take a couple minutes of your time and talk to you about some of the really cool things you can find while hunting coins. Now, this wasn't the only thing I found. I did find one DDR. I also found a couple RPMs, which is really cool. And I found this piece over here, which has another error on it. And we'll get to that one another time. And you can kind of see that right there. So we'll talk about some of the things that these are. We'll talk about some of the things that happen. But there's a whole lot of really neat things that you can find in your pocket change. So make sure you're looking. Be well, be blessed, and I will see you guys later in the streams. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow if you enjoyed this. Take care.